Stories and Documentary Network. The Silla Kingdom stands as a testament to the rich tapestry of East Asian history, its legacy woven intricately into the fabric of Korean identity and cultural heritage. Spanning over a millennium on the Korean Peninsula, from 57 BCE to 935 CE, the Silla Kingdom emerged as one of the three kingdoms alongside Goguryeo and Baekje, ultimately achieving unification through strategic alliances and military prowess. This essay embarks on a journey to explore the multifaceted dimensions of the Silla Kingdom, from its humble beginnings to its zenith as a cultural and political powerhouse, and finally to its enduring influence in shaping the Korean Peninsula and beyond. The origins of the Silla Kingdom can be traced back to the early centuries BCE, when disparate tribal communities coalesced into a centralized polity amidst the fertile valleys and mountainous terrain of southeastern Korea. Initially overshadowed by its more powerful neighbors, Goguryeo and Baekje, Silla gradually rose in prominence through strategic alliances and diplomatic maneuvers. The pivotal turning point came in the 7th century CE, when Silla forged a military alliance with the Tang Dynasty of China to conquer its rivals and unify the Korean Peninsula under its rule. This unification marked the beginning of the unified Silla period, characterized by political stability, economic prosperity, and unprecedented cultural achievements. The emergence of the three kingdoms, Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla, marked a transformative period in Korean history, shaping the geopolitical landscape of the Korean Peninsula from the 1st century BCE onwards. Situated amidst diverse terrains and distinct cultural landscapes, these kingdoms initially coexisted as separate entities, each vying for dominance and territorial expansion. Goguryeo, founded in 37 BCE in the northern regions of Korea, quickly established itself as a formidable military power, extending its influence over vast territories in Manchuria and parts of modern-day North Korea. Baekje, founded in 18 BCE in the southwestern regions of the peninsula, flourished through maritime trade with China and Japan, fostering cultural exchanges and technological advancements. In contrast, the Silla tribe, situated in the southeastern region of the peninsula, initially struggled to assert its dominance amidst the more powerful neighbors. However, Silla's strategic location facilitated interactions with both China and Japan, laying the groundwork for its eventual rise to prominence. The precise date of Silla's foundation is shrouded in historical ambiguity, but it is generally believed to have occurred during the early centuries of the Common Era. As neighboring kingdoms expanded their territories and influence, Silla underwent a gradual process of consolidation, transforming from a loose confederation of tribal communities into a centralized political entity. The legendary figures such as Gyeongju and his successors played crucial roles in uniting disparate tribes under the banner of Silla, thereby establishing a rudimentary framework for governance and territorial control. The process of state formation accelerated during the 4th century CE, as Silla faced increasing pressure from Goguryeo and Baekje. To counter these external threats, Silla engaged in strategic alliances and military campaigns, gradually expanding its influence over neighboring territories. By the 6th century CE, Silla had emerged as a formidable contender among the three kingdoms, setting the stage for its eventual bid for unification. Silla's early political structure was characterized by a hierarchical system of governance, with a ruling elite presiding over a network of local chieftains and tribal leaders. The emergence of a centralized monarchy marked a significant shift towards political consolidation, as successive rulers sought to centralize authority and expand territorial control. Socially, Silla society was stratified into distinct classes, with the royal family and aristocracy occupying the highest echelons. Below them were the commoners, comprising farmers, artisans, and merchants who contributed to the kingdom's economic prosperity. While social mobility was limited, individuals could attain higher status through military service, scholarly achievements, or royal patronage. Religiously, indigenous shamanistic beliefs coexisted alongside the gradual adoption of Buddhism, which gained prominence during the latter half of the 6th century CE. The introduction of Buddhism from China via Baekje and the spread of Buddhist teachings contributed to cultural transformation, shaping artistic expression and religious practices within Silla society. The unification of the three kingdoms, Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla, represents a pivotal chapter in Korean history, marked by complex alliances, strategic military maneuvers, and diplomatic engagements. Silla's journey towards unification began in earnest during the late 7th century CE, amidst growing regional instability and external threats from neighboring kingdoms. Silla's strategic advantage lay in its ability to forge alliances with external powers, most notably the Tang Dynasty of China. In 660 CE, Silla entered into an alliance with Tang China against its rival kingdoms, Goguryeo and Baekje. This alliance proved decisive, as combined Tang-Silla forces launched a series of military campaigns that culminated in the fall of Baekje in 660 CE and Goguryeo in 668 CE. These victories solidified Silla's dominance over the Korean Peninsula and paved the way for the establishment of a unified state. With the collapse of Goguryeo and Baekje, Silla moved swiftly to consolidate its newfound territorial acquisitions and establish the foundations of a unified kingdom. In 668 CE, King Munmu formally declared the establishment of the Silla dynasty, also known as the later Silla dynasty, marking the beginning of a period characterized by political stability, economic prosperity, and cultural flourishing. The Silla dynasty adopted administrative reforms aimed at centralizing authority and strengthening governance across its expanded territories. The capital city of Gyeongju became a center of political power and cultural innovation, fostering artistic achievements, architectural marvels, and intellectual pursuits. Under the patronage of Silla rulers, Buddhism flourished as a state religion, with monastic institutions such as Hwangmyangsa and Bulguksa Temple emerging as centers of Buddhist learning and artistic expression. Silla's military strategies were pivotal in its quest for unification and subsequent consolidation of power. The alliance with Tang China provided crucial military support, including logistical resources, strategic guidance, and advanced weaponry. Tang-Silla military campaigns employed coordinated naval and land-based tactics to overcome the formidable defenses of Goguryeo and Baekje, showcasing the effectiveness of combined military efforts in achieving strategic objectives. Additionally, Silla cultivated alliances with regional powers and local chieftains within the former territories of Goguryeo and Baekje, thereby integrating diverse ethnic groups and fostering a sense of unity among disparate communities. These alliances not only bolstered Silla's military capabilities but also facilitated the assimilation of regional cultures and traditions into the broader framework of Silla statehood. The Golden Age of Silla witnessed an unprecedented efflorescence of artistic and cultural achievements. Under royal patronage and the influence of Buddhism, Silla artisans and craftsmen produced exquisite works of art, including Buddhist sculptures, paintings, ceramics, and metalwork. The art of unified Silla reflects a synthesis of indigenous Korean styles with influences from Tang China and Central Asia, showcasing intricate designs, graceful proportions, and spiritual themes. Architecturally, Silla's accomplishments are epitomized by the construction of grand Buddhist temples and pagodas. Bulguksa Temple and Sukgoram Grotto, both UNESCO World Heritage Sites, exemplify Silla's architectural prowess and commitment to religious devotion. These structures not only served as places of worship but also as centers of cultural exchange and intellectual discourse, attracting scholars, monks, and artisans from across East Asia. Literary achievements during this period included the compilation of historical chronicles such as the Samguk Sagi, History of the Three Kingdoms, and Samguk Yusa, Memorabilia of the Three Kingdoms, which provide valuable insights into Silla's political history, cultural practices, and religious beliefs. Economic prosperity during the Golden Age of Silla was closely intertwined with maritime trade and diplomatic relations with neighboring states. Silla's strategic location on the southeastern coast of the Korean Peninsula facilitated maritime commerce with China, Japan, and Southeast Asia. Trade goods such as silk, ceramics, precious metals, and luxury items flowed through Silla's ports, enriching the kingdom's coffers and fostering cultural exchanges. The establishment of trade routes, including the Silk Road, enabled Silla to participate in transcontinental trade networks, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies between East Asia and the broader Eurasian continent. This interconnectedness contributed to Silla's economic prosperity and enhanced its status as a regional power. Buddhism played a central role in shaping the spiritual and cultural landscape of unified Silla society. Introduced to Korea during the Three Kingdoms period, Buddhism gained prominence under Silla royal patronage and became deeply intertwined with statecraft, education, and artistic expression. Monastic institutions such as Hwangnyangsa and Bulguksa Temple served as centers of Buddhist learning and practice, attracting renowned monks and scholars. Buddhist monks played pivotal roles as cultural ambassadors, facilitating the transmission of Buddhist teachings, artistic techniques, and literary traditions from China and India to Korea. Spiritual growth during this period was characterized by the proliferation of Buddhist rituals, ceremonies, and devotional practices among the populace. Buddhist art flourished, with sculptors and painters creating iconic images of Buddha, bodhisattvas, and guardian deities that embodied spiritual ideals and conveyed moral teachings. Silla society was structured hierarchically, with distinct social classes that shaped individuals' roles, opportunities, and status within the kingdom. At the apex of the social hierarchy were the aristocratic elite, including members of the royal family, high-ranking officials, and prominent landowners. These individuals wielded significant political influence and enjoyed privileges such as land ownership, access to education, and participation in governmental affairs. Beneath the aristocracy were the commoners, comprising farmers, artisans, craftsmen, and merchants. Commoners formed the backbone of Silla's economy, contributing agricultural produce, manufactured goods, and commercial activities that sustained the kingdom's prosperity. Although commoners lacked the social prestige and political power of the aristocracy, they played essential roles in the economic and cultural life of Silla society. At the lowest rung of the social hierarchy were slaves, known as nobi. Slavery in Silla society was primarily based on debt servitude or captivity from warfare, and slaves performed labor-intensive tasks such as agriculture, domestic service, and construction. Despite their marginalized status, some slaves could earn freedom through various means, such as military service or exceptional skills. Silla's administrative structure evolved over time, reflecting the kingdom's expansion and consolidation of power. The central government was headed by the king, assisted by a council of high-ranking officials and advisors who oversaw state affairs, legislative decisions, and diplomatic relations. Provincial governance was delegated to local governors and administrators responsible for tax collection, public infrastructure, and maintaining social order. The legal system in Silla was influenced by Confucian principles of social order, filial piety, and hierarchical relationships. Laws and regulations were codified to maintain political stability, regulate economic activities, and adjudicate disputes among citizens. Legal codes outlined penalties for criminal offenses, property rights, marriage contracts, and inheritance practices, providing a framework for maintaining social cohesion and justice. Women in Silla society enjoyed relatively higher social status and legal rights compared to later periods in Korean history. While patriarchal norms influenced societal expectations, women actively participated in economic activities, religious rituals, and cultural pursuits that contributed to the kingdom's prosperity and cultural vibrancy. Elite women from noble families often received education in literature, music, and Confucian ethics, preparing them for roles as wives, mothers, and household managers. Some women held positions of influence as advisors to royalty, landowners, or religious leaders, contributing to political decisions and community welfare. Moreover, women played essential roles in transmitting cultural traditions, including oral histories, folktales, and artistic practices, which enriched Silla's cultural heritage. In religious contexts, women participated in Buddhist rituals and ceremonies as devotees, nuns, or patrons of monastic institutions, supporting the spread of Buddhism and its integration into daily life. Buddhist art flourished during the Golden Age of the Silla Kingdom, reflecting the kingdom's deep spiritual devotion and cultural exchange with neighboring regions, particularly Tang China. Silla artisans produced exquisite Buddhist sculptures characterized by grace, serenity, and intricate detailing. These sculptures predominantly depicted Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and celestial beings, embodying spiritual ideals and conveying profound religious teachings. One of the most renowned examples of Silla Buddhist art is the Sukgoram Grotto, a UNESCO World Heritage Site located near Gyeongju. Constructed in the 8th century CE, the Sukgoram Grotto houses a monumental statue of Buddha seated in the lotus position, surrounded by bodhisattvas and disciples. The statue, carved from granite, exemplifies Silla's mastery of sculptural techniques and its dedication to creating sacred spaces that inspire contemplation and reverence. Silla's architectural achievements are exemplified by the construction of monumental temples, pagodas, and royal palaces that served as centers of religious worship, artistic expression, and administrative governance. Bulguksa Temple, another UNESCO World Heritage Site near Gyeongju, stands as a testament to Silla's architectural ingenuity and spiritual devotion. Built in the 8th century CE, Bulguksa Temple features intricate wooden structures, stone pagodas, and landscaped gardens that harmonize with the natural environment. The Hwangnyangsa Temple, once one of the largest wooden structures in East Asia, showcased Silla's engineering prowess and commitment to Buddhist education and worship. Although largely destroyed during later periods, Hwangnyangsa Temple remains a symbol of Silla's architectural grandeur and cultural legacy. Silla art exerted a profound influence on East Asian aesthetics, contributing to the development of Buddhist iconography, architectural styles, and artistic techniques across the region. The integration of Tang Chinese artistic elements with indigenous Korean traditions created a distinctive Silla aesthetic characterized by grace, balance, and spiritual depth. Silla's artistic achievements resonated beyond its borders, influencing the cultural practices and artistic expressions of neighboring civilizations, including Tang China and Japan. The transmission of Buddhist scriptures, artistic motifs, and architectural designs facilitated cultural exchanges that enriched East Asian cultural heritage and fostered cross-cultural understanding. The legacy of the Silla Kingdom endures through its profound cultural contributions, which continue to shape Korean identity and inspire admiration globally. Silla's golden age witnessed unparalleled achievements in Buddhist art, architecture, literature, and governance, leaving behind a rich cultural heritage that reflects the kingdom's spiritual depth and artistic sophistication. Bulguksa Temple and Sukgoram Grotto, recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Sites, exemplify Silla's architectural mastery and devotion to Buddhist ideals. These sacred sites attract visitors from around the world, offering insights into Silla's aesthetic sensibilities and religious devotion. The kingdom's artistic legacy also includes exquisite Buddhist sculptures, such as the serene Buddha statues found in various temples, which embody spiritual ideals and artistic refinement. Silla's cultural achievements have profoundly influenced Korean identity, fostering a sense of pride in the country's cultural heritage and historical continuity. The kingdom's emphasis on artistic excellence, intellectual pursuits, and religious tolerance contributed to the development of a distinctive Korean cultural identity that integrates indigenous traditions with influences from China, Japan, and Central Asia. The preservation of Silla's cultural legacy through historical texts, archaeological discoveries, and cultural institutions underscores its significance in shaping Korean national identity. The enduring reverence for Silla's achievements in art, architecture, and governance serves as a source of inspiration and cultural pride for contemporary Koreans, reinforcing a connection to their historical roots and collective heritage. Beyond its borders, the Silla Kingdom exerted a profound influence on neighboring civilizations in East Asia, contributing to the transmission of Buddhist teachings, artistic techniques, and administrative practices. Silla's diplomatic alliances with Tang China facilitated cultural exchanges that enriched regional aesthetics and fostered mutual understanding among East Asian nations. The dissemination of Silla's artistic innovations, such as Buddhist sculptures and architectural designs, influenced the cultural practices of neighboring states, including Tang China and Japan. The adoption of Silla-style pagodas and Buddhist iconography in these regions reflects the kingdom's role as a cultural bridge and catalyst for artistic exchange in East Asia. The decline of the Silla Kingdom, which had enjoyed centuries of stability and cultural flourishing, was precipitated by a combination of internal challenges and external pressures. Internally, factionalism among the aristocracy, power struggles within the royal court, and socio-economic disparities contributed to political instability and governance issues. The weakening central authority undermined Silla's ability to maintain effective control over its territories and address pressing societal needs. Externally, the Silla Kingdom faced mounting threats from neighboring states, particularly the rising power of the later Baekje and Goryeo kingdoms. Border conflicts, incursions by nomadic tribes from the north, and competition for regional hegemony intensified during the latter half of the 9th century CE, straining Silla's military resources and diplomatic relations. By the early 10th century CE, internal dissent and external pressures culminated in the fragmentation of the Silla Kingdom. Regional warlords and provincial governors asserted autonomy over their territories, challenging the authority of the central government in Gyeongju. The once unified kingdom splintered into rival factions and successor states, each vying for control over strategic regions and resources. The collapse of central authority precipitated a period of political fragmentation and regional conflict, as local leaders sought to consolidate power and assert territorial sovereignty. This fragmentation marked the end of the unified Silla period and the transition to a new era characterized by geopolitical realignments and the emergence of competing dynastic states on the Korean Peninsula. Out of the fragmentation of the Silla Kingdom emerged several successor states that sought to fill the power vacuum left by Silla's decline. The most notable successor states included later Silla, which briefly revived Silla's legacy under King Gyeongsun before being annexed by Goryeo in 935 CE. Meanwhile, the later Baekje and Goryeo kingdoms emerged as formidable rivals in the struggle for territorial control and political dominance. Later Baekje, centered in present-day southwestern Korea, sought to reclaim and preserve Baekje's cultural heritage while competing with Goryeo for influence over regional politics and trade routes. Goryeo, founded in 918 CE by Wang Jian, King Taeo, eventually succeeded in unifying the Korean Peninsula under its rule, marking the beginning of a new dynastic era that would shape Korean history for centuries to come. In modern times, the legacy of the Silla Kingdom has been rediscovered through archaeological excavations, scholarly research, and cultural preservation efforts. Archaeological sites such as Gyeongju, the ancient capital of Silla, and UNESCO World Heritage sites like Bulguksa Temple and Sukgoram Grotto have provided valuable insights into Silla's architectural achievements, artistic traditions, and religious practices. Historical texts such as the Samguk Sagi and Samguk Yusa, compiled during the Goryeo dynasty, have preserved accounts of Silla's political history, cultural developments, and interactions with neighboring kingdoms. These texts serve as primary sources for understanding Silla's legacy and its impact on subsequent Korean dynasties and cultural evolution. Silla's lasting legacy is evident in its architectural marvels such as Bulguksa Temple and Sukgoram Grotto, which continue to inspire awe and admiration for their artistic beauty and spiritual significance. The kingdom's Buddhist artistry, characterized by exquisite sculptures and religious iconography, reflects a synthesis of indigenous Korean traditions with influences from Tang China, shaping the aesthetic sensibilities of East Asia. Moreover, Silla's emphasis on education, governance, and cultural patronage laid the foundation for subsequent Korean dynasties, including Goryeo and Joseon, which inherited and expanded upon Silla's achievements. The enduring cultural legacy of Silla continues to resonate in modern Korean society, contributing to a sense of national pride and identity rooted in centuries of cultural continuity. Studying the history of the Silla Kingdom provides valuable insights into the dynamics of East Asian geopolitics, cultural exchanges, and societal developments. Silla's ability to navigate alliances, manage diverse ethnic groups, and foster cultural integration offers lessons in statecraft and diplomacy that remain relevant in contemporary contexts. Furthermore, Silla's interactions with Tang China, Japan, and Central Asia illustrate the interconnectedness of East Asian civilizations and the exchange of ideas that shaped regional histories. The kingdom's contributions to Buddhist dissemination, artistic innovation, and administrative governance exemplify the region's cultural dynamism and intellectual ferment during the medieval period. In conclusion, the Silla Kingdom stands as a testament to Korea's rich cultural heritage, political resilience, and contributions to East Asian civilization. By examining Silla's achievements and legacy, we gain a deeper appreciation for the enduring impact of historical continuity, cultural exchange, and artistic innovation in shaping the fabric of East Asian history and identity.